No.
Yep, absolutely. And yeah, that's it. So what we're going to do, here's what you can expect. Best 3 out of 5. Going into it, 2-0 is Jig. desRow needs to win all 3 games in a row in order to stay in the winner's bracket. Of course, if he loses, he's fine. He'll go down to the loser's bracket. He will have to fight his way up through that, but not a huge problem. He is fairly late in the game as it sits right now, so he would only have to win a couple more matches in order to get back up into the WCG Canada Finals final. And loading up the game right now, just about ready to launch. I'm sure you guys have eagerly been waiting.
Yeah, and either one of these players in the losers bracket should still do okay. You know, they're both pretty big favorites, so whichever player loses this, it's not the end of the road for them. In the top right-hand side, we have desRow, who hopefully he's worked out all the problems that he's had. Hopefully his headset isn't going to cause him too many problems, and I really hope that he plays the best StarCraft that he can play.
Yeah, I do hope so as well. Of course, on Cloud Kingdom, an older map that we've not seen in a long time. This might benefit both players very well. And the reason I say that is this. I am almost 100% certain neither of these players has played a lot on Cloud Kingdom. It's outside of the map pool.
Certainly not recently.
Not recently, no. This is not on the current ladder right now. So, depending on who can remember this map and how to play it well, and the builds and the strategies that work well on it, this can come out. It couldn't come out any which number of ways, but at the end of the day, we'll see where it goes. Cloud Kingdom, obviously a favorite for Zerg. Protoss can actually capitalize on this as well. Part of the Swarm is substantially different than Wings of Liberty, so anything can go here. So
now, you probably know more about this than me. How long has Jig been around the pro scene? Because I've heard of him, but I haven't seen a lot of his games. I know that desRow was certainly around when Cloud Kingdom was still a popular map, but was Jig in the professional scene at that time?
I don't know if he was pro at the particular time. I'm still trying to determine that. From my understanding, he has been around a little bit. I'll look him up in just a moment when I get a free second. I'll get back to you on that one is what I'm driving at. But I know that he's played on this. I mean, obviously, he's a Grandmaster Zerg player on the North American server. You don't do that just in Heart of the Swarm alone. He's definitely played on Wings of Liberty. So
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But professional training on a map versus laddering could make a pretty big difference. Where maybe desRow has some planned builds. Again, though, this probably isn't that big of a deal. From desRow, we're seeing the same build as before, or as in game 1. He's got a gateway. He's got his assimilator. He's probably going to put down a cyber core and then expand. And then we're seeing a pool first into hatchery from Jig.
Yep. And pool first into hatch. Very aggressive build. This may throw desRow off, and he'll have to play safer because of this. Because that being said, he knows that there is no gas taken. But there is the gas. So this is going to alert him a little bit as to what's going on. He's going to have to be playing a little bit more conservatively and not too greedy. So we're going to see.
He's got his second gas coming up. Still no expansion. He seems to be saving up those minerals though. So I think the next thing that he's going to drop should be an expansion. He's up at almost 300. He's going to get his warp gate.
The probe is headed out to go down to that corner. Yep. And we should see that in about 30 seconds time. He is still making workers first. That is always going to be the priority up at the top left-hand corner. Never want to stop making workers. Down goes the Nexus indeed. So it is going to be a 1 gate into Nexus and, of course, pool into hatch. Now the question is, what does Jig do next?
desRow should be getting warp gate here. Cyber's been done for a while. There it is. Yeah, I think he forgot that for a little bit. So that's probably not going to hurt him. Unless, I mean, if he was trying to go for like maybe a 3-gate pressure, which is possible with that early double gas before an expansion, then, that warp gate being delayed 10-15 seconds, that could, be potentially an issue.
Yeah, it could hurt. He does have the mothership core coming out first. He's chrono boosting it actually to get it out as quickly as possible so that he can get that energy started to charge. That is going to be the saving grace in this particular game, and especially if there's any kind of early pressure. Getting that photon charge down.
Stargate going down for desRow.
Where is it? There it is.
Right in the main. That's a very early Stargate. I think this is going to be for Oracles, because usually if it was going to be for Phoenix, it would go down a minute or a minute and a half later than it is now. And he had that really early gas. So I think we're going to see a couple of Oracles go down. And then you've got sentries behind this, so probably Oracles into a standard robotics game is what I'm going to think is happening.
Yep, absolutely. Just taking a look really quickly here. 2 queens out front, good defensive. Spines going down out front as well. Jig playing very defensively. Where is he going? Is he going to be able to handle an Oracle? Not right quite yet. Doesn't have any spores down in advance.
He
He
needs
doesn't
to
know.
scout this. Again, he's got those spines going down. So it is an Oracle. It's not Phoenix. It will be an Oracle. But again, he's got those spines going down, which is oftentimes indicative of Muta play. That's what we saw him do in the first game. And honestly, I mean, Mutas won't obviously be out before this Oracle. So this is kind of a really good build out of desRow for what Jig is doing.
Absolutely, and for the most part, this desRow's base is completely unscouted. He is sending in an Overlord over in the top left-hand corner of the map.
Yep.
But I think it's going to be a
Not going
little...
to see anything.
No, and it's going to be a little too late. That Stalker's going to intercept it and push it out.
He
And
has
this
a
is
Spore Crawler on the way.
so good for desRow. Yeah, maybe he knows something's up. Where's that Spore Crawler? Okay, it is just outside. Maybe he's expecting DTs. He sees the gas time. He might be expecting DTs. That's why he's got the spine and the spore.
That's a very good point, actually. He could very well be expecting DTs. He scouted that early double gas. Oracle should be in the back of his mind, though. And here it comes. He's going to know now. So we'll see how his reaction is. desRow very smartly targeting down the drones, making sure not to click on the queen. Should get out of this.
Yeah, he'll get out of here, no
Does not
problem.
want to lose that Oracle.
Oh, wait. He loses the Oracle. That is not what you want to do with that kind of situation. He did get a lot of worker kills, though. 7 worker kills already.
Yeah, that makes that worth it. We'll see what his transition. He's got Blink on the way, which is an interesting transition.
But it's good on this map. It's a lot like Star Station. You can blink up onto the high ground so easily. Mothership Core gives you that high ground vision. Not a bad choice. Not to mention, and this is from a purely defensive point of view, Blink is actually great for blinking in and out of your base. So to give you that defensive edge you need in case something happens like a Nidus Worm or a run by, or even like a flock of mutas flying in, if you can blink up into your base, you can basically traverse this cliff very quickly and give yourself that defensive edge that you're really much looking forward to.
That's very true. I think desRow might be expecting Mutalisks again, and in reality, Jig is going for sort of a Ling Hydra approach. He's got speed almost done, he's got a bunch of Hydras out already, and that's going to hard counter Blink Stalkers pretty good, because Hydras engaging against Stalkers, Hydras usually win, and then when they blink away, Speedlings can catch up to the Stalkers and clean them right up. So Jig is kind of blindly countering this Blink play. I don't know if did he see that Twilight go down?
I don't. Let me just see where he's on the map. Where is
He did not, so he has no idea about the Twilight. He's kind of blindly countering this, and I think it's going to go well. So he's already got the Hydras up at desRow's potential third base, and he's going to push in, and I think this is going to be a great push. He's got Aspire, 20 Lings on the way now behind this.
Yeah, and that's actually not a bad push here. Blink is just finished up now, or about to finish.
Force fields. The force fields are going to make all the difference, and those weren't great.
No, they're
a wasted time warp, wasted force fields.
There's a good time warp there, though.
Mothership Core, and now he has no photon overcharge to even use in the main. And these Lings coming out, he's out of energy on all of his sentries. I think this could end the game right here.
It could. These force fields are slowing things down. Along with those time warps, is actually buying desRow a little bit of time here. He does have a large amount of Stalkers here as well. No force fields left, though, in the bank. No, there is one more that is available.
I called that way too quick. He's also drawing.
Oh, no, you didn't call it. It did look like it was going to be quite successful there. The big one that you were right on, Mothership Core being dead, but desRow killing off those Hydras so quickly and then expanding immediately behind it. But there are Lings heading on out, and do they intercept?
Are those going to get into the natural, maybe? No.
Oh, no, I think both players had them on move commands. They just completely dodged.
That was a funny situation.
Yeah, it's not going to get into the natural. They are going to see the Nexus. They're not
cancel on this Nexus would be huge. I don't think he's going to. desRow with a slow reaction time, though. No, he's not going to get it.
Yeah, he's fine. He's going to be in good shape. So I wouldn't say a complete blunder. Good pressure here out of Jig, but just now getting the muscular augments. I think he should have had that before he headed out with Hydralisk. He would certainly been a lot more successful. He'd be able to apply a lot more pressure and be able to transition very quickly. I should also point out glial reconstitution is also being researched, which definitely shows us that he's going for that Roach Hydra play that is so good for ZVP. And if he could throw in a couple of,
check out these Lings at the third. Lings at the third, and the army is way out of position for desRow. He could cancel this third. No chance. But so desRow's army has a big army coming in. Jig seems to really like spine crawlers, which I like actually. These spine crawlers are going to really help with holding this.
Yeah, it's going to tie things up for quite a bit of time. However, that being said, there is an awful lot of Stalkers there.
That's an overwhelming number.
That is, and this amount of Hydras is just not enough. Reinforcements are showing up, but again, not enough to really kind of address this. I'm pretty sure that desRow is going to be able to take care of this third hatch fairly well, and he's going to start working away on workers. That is the correct decision here. And then,
Yep.
of course, the hatch is the next to go.
15 roaches on the way. If those were out now, he'd have a chance to hold this, but I think they're just a little bit too late.
It actually cancels a good number of them instead of letting them get sniped by the stalkers.
Of course.
But
Smart
army
move.
size is getting scary. Very scary. 48-48 matched, and when you're down only on 2 bases as Jig has got to be worried at this point.
Yeah, it's a great move to be able to take out a third base while simultaneously establishing your own third base. That puts desRow hugely ahead on economy, and he's already ahead on army. The supply isn't really telling the whole story right now, but I think we're going to see it jump up for desRow hugely while Jig is going to be falling behind.
Yeah, I mean,
Jig has mutas on the way, though.
Yeah, 5 of them actually, and that can help him a little bit. Maybe be able to turn the tides, get some worker kills, get some harass, but more importantly, keep desRow on his back foot, trying to keep him defensive. That can lend a hand. That being said, desRow almost feeling he's got a sixth sense. He immediately goes straight to Storm. It's always a good choice in PvZ. And especially against Roach Hydra, where they like to clump up a lot and not move all that quickly. So Storm is going to be obviously of some value here.
5 or 6 mutas is not going to do that much, though. I think building that Spire, he was not expecting to lose his third base. He was not expecting to lose the gas income from the third base. And he was going to try and produce, 12, 13, 14 mutas. And that would have been a significant amount that he could have harassed the natural, go into the main, go into the third. But with 5 or 6, it's really not going to do what he needs them to do.
Indeed, and this force is actually getting bigger and bigger. Jig has retaken his third base and is almost about to finish. He's long distance mining off of it as it sits right now. Once that's up, he'll be in much better financial position. But he is behind right now. It is without question he is behind. He needs that economy to get caught up. It's 140 to 136 supply. Arm fairly close, 81 to 70. Worker count 66 to 59 in the favor of desRow.
And desRow very intelligently splitting up his stalkers. He's got a whole bunch over at his natural with cannons. He knows that the mutas are coming. Then he's got his main army outside of his third, scouting around there. He's got cannons going down in his main base. So he's going to be defending these low numbers of mutas with great ease.
And he has that forward pylon already positioned up so that he can actually just go and attack that third again. However, that third is very well defended. There's a lot of lings, a lot of roaches and mutas as well, or rather hydralisk as well. I apologize. And I think, desRow sees that, doesn't like it. He's going to back right up. He wants to engage this a little bit better. It'd be nice if he had an overseer or rather an observer in this mix so that he can take care of the creep tumors while he's on.
As well as the swarm hosts that are now out.
Yep, where are they, ladies and gentlemen? There they are. Swarm host now transitioning out. So Roach, Hydra, Swarm host. This is going to be very hard for desRow to take care of, especially once these Swarm host numbers start to get high and the locusts get on out there. Does he have the enduring locust ability? No, not quite yet. Research, he's not started it. +1/+1, missile attacks and carapace.
This will be close.
This will be
He's
very
got
close.
Storm can take care of those Hydras instantly. And Storm can also go down on burrowed.
Beautiful.
I think he's got this.
Oh, absolutely, he's got it. Those storms were absolutely right what desRow needed. He's going to push on up here. Jig is going to try and hold this. He does have the swarm host burrowed. Locusts are coming on out. Free units. No detection in the midst here. Taking a look at the units tab really quickly. There is an observer on the map, but it is not in position. It is well out of the way. And unfortunately, it's not going to lend a hand down here. But there is enough stalkers here that they can kind of just ignore it. And a big GG. Yeah. desRow victorious.
When you have Storm, you sometimes don't even need an observer because you can just storm where you know the swarm hosts are. So you can see where they spawn and you can know where the swarm hosts are. And if you spawn that area, or storm that area, sorry, then you can still take care of them. And we didn't actually see that happen, but that's what could have happened. So
Yep,
I think
absolutely.
that's why desRow still pushed in, even though there were burrowed units.
So it's the best 3 to 5 in this series, only just this particular one for now. It's because of a concession that was made by the administrators as well as the players. Because of the fact that desRow's game, the second game, was interfered with, they gave Jig the win, but then made the game a best 3 out of 5 instead of a best 2 out of 3. So desRow has clawed himself back 1 game. Can he take 2 more in order to come out victorious, or will Jig be able to seal the deal next game? We'll see in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We're just going to have a quick commercial break.
The legend begins with MSI Dragoon Army. A unique and legendary army comprised of an elite group of fighters. Now, pick up your ammo and weapons. MSI Gaming Motherboard, Gaming Graphics Card. MSI Gaming Notebook, Gaming All-in-One PC. Be a new breed of the Dragoon Army with MSI. To conquer any battleground. Top player, top choice.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Sorry about the short commercial break, but that being said, MSI makes amazing stuff. And if you're wondering, this is not a sponsored plug, believe it or not. This is actually the legit deal. This stream is being brought to you by an Intel i7 2600 CPU, 16 gigs of RAM, and an MSI GTX 670. Just the card I wound up buying. I wasn't like getting a freebie. I wasn't getting a cheap one. They had it was $40 off. It had the better clock rate that I wanted. It had the RAM. It had all the features.
You didn't get a free one?
No, I didn't. Well, of course I didn't. You got a free one?
Yeah, they sent one to me.
Really?
They told me not to tell you. Oh, jeez. Oh. I'm sorry, dude. You can use mine whenever you want, though.
Oh, you're a bad person. You're playing on a laptop. You lie. Anyway.
Not anymore. Not when it arrives.
Anyway, I do have the GTX 670. It's been providing, obviously, as you guys can see, a 1080p stream, doing all the graphics crunching, leaving my CPU free to do the stream work. So down in the bottom right-hand corner, ladies and gentlemen, on Atlas.
Wait, dude, I'm not in the game.
Oh, dear. All right, just tune in the stream.
Okay.
No problem. It's okay. Technical difficulties. I guess you got dropped on the way in, or did they miss it?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I didn't leave anything.
Oh, odd. All right, so down in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, in the gold trunks, ladies and gentlemen, it is desRow.
And stream delay. In the bottom right, we have desRow now.
Or rather, bottom right is desRow. Yep, top right.
Okay, so I'm a little bit behind, but I'll make it work. In the top right-hand side, we have the Zerg player Jig, who got a little bit outplayed last game, but still, really strong decision-making. It's, I think, where Jig's strengths lie. I've seen him do some really smart stuff so far in terms of his unit composition and tech choices. So I'm really excited to see what he does this game. He's just got to, make sure that he doesn't lose too much economically.
Yep, it does look some very fast scouting by desRow. He's got his probe just going around like crazy. He has another probe heading on out as well. Taking a look up at Jig Space very quickly, he does have himself this spawning pool already up first. In fact, actually just now starting to take that hatch. So pool first, hatch second. Taking a look down in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, Forge going down, so it's going to be a Forge Fast Expand build out of desRow.
Yep. So desRow's going to change it up this game. He went with the gateway first in all previous games. This time he's going to go Forge Fast Expand. Might be because of the map. Might be because it's easier to seal off that small choke on Red City. Although there's a gateway before Nexus, so I like that little change actually.
Yeah, it's a bit of a switch.
Cancelled it. Okay. That's now strange. I do not like that.
All right. Nexus. There we go, and then the gate. Oh, he does have his wall. I think this gap is too wide, though. Yeah, it's a two. It's. Yeah, I think this gap is far too wide. Oh, he's got a cannon going down. There's a 2-hex gap here between this gate. I think this gate's been misplaced, and this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he realizes, but this is a perfect run-by situation. Like there's. The only way you'll stop a run by.
What is going on with this wall? In fact, this is bizarre.
This is very weird. Maybe he's going to use the cybernetics core on this side, on the right-hand side of the top pylon. That's where I would put it. Or that's where I'd put it. You want to keep the tech away from the front, so that would be the way I would do it.
When dealing with pro players, I always tend to give them the benefit of the doubt. If they do something a little funky that I don't understand, I like to think maybe there's some master plan that I don't understand before I assume that it's a mistake. So let's wait and see where he places his next buildings. Maybe he's got something cool planned that it's just a new innovative wall.
Yep, and indeed, it is going to be that cybernetics core is going to be positioned, and just in the nick of time, the probe is going to head on back. There's a cannon here to also provide a level of defense. Also should point out that he's also created a bit of a choke here with the cannon next to the Nexus. So there's actually kind of 2 chokes to get up into the main, so it's not like it's going to be a quick run by. However, that entire series of placement of buildings has been completely spotted here, and Jig has expanded behind this. He has taken a third. He is macroing like a boss, 28 to 27 workers, and it's going to continue to climb.
Now, we've been talking about the wall for a while here, but I want to mention one more thing. I don't really like the cybernetics core right out in the front. That's really exposed. If there's a roach attack or, anything that can take that out without having to commit into the main. Usually you want to have your cybernetics core behind your wall of buildings, because if that gets taken out, no more sentries, no more stalkers, no more tech. Oh. Yeah, okay, exactly. So then you're in big trouble. Sorry, I had some weird lag there, but I'm okay.
All right, and then, of course, Stargate has just gone down. desRow looking like he's going to try the same play from last game. Certainly got a little bit of success with the Oracle. I think next time if he micros it just a touch bit better, he can keep it alive and then continue to harass with it. But he is in a good place. He's on 2 bases. He's comfortable. He's safe, at least for now. And Jig is now instead actually grabbing a Roach Warren and an Evolution Chamber right behind it. And continuing to actually macro up. I should note, he's not really taking many gas. He's only taking the 1 gas up in the main. He's taking the 1 gas down in the natural, and now taking finally the other one down in the natural. He's looking in very, very good form. Creep is a little bit low on the spread, though. This is not normal for Jig. Jig is very, very good at spreading his creep out, and I'm a little surprised by this, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, it's a little odd. That Stargate went down about a minute later than it did in the last game. Okay, never mind. So it's still an Oracle. I thought maybe he might switch over to Phoenix, but it's still going to be the Oracle. Probably just the 1 Oracle, and then he can expand, and then he can, tech up based on what he sees with the Oracle. But we could maybe see that Blink Stalker thing again.
Yep, there's a couple of good, well-placed Overlords actually in
Early
the flight
third.
path here. Yeah, so they'll see this Oracle coming a mile away. We'll expect to see some spores go down the second it crosses paths.
This is really greedy play from desRow here. So he's built an Oracle. He's got like 1 sentry and like a Stalker, I think, and then he's already taken his 3rd. An Oracle isn't an army unit. That's not going to help much with defending an attack. So he has very, very little at home to defend. And desRow's building up the roaches here. So if we see a timing attack from, Jig, if we see any sort of attack from Jig, desRow's not going to be well defended.
Yeah, desRow not getting a whole lot of return on this Oracle, and the Oracle does ultimately fall. How many workers killed? Only 6 so far. That's not as good as last game. Lots and lots of roaches out.
Don't lose it again, desRow. He's just sacking it on purpose, I think.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, his vision is really lacking. desRow's scouting this game nowhere near as good as the last one. I think he's been so focused on trying to get these expos up and trying to be playing safe that he's not been able to scout his opponent, and he does not know that there's about 6 roaches headed his way.
Yeah, he needs to keep that Oracle alive, move it into the natural. He could have seen those Evolution Chambers and the Roach Warren, even maybe seen some roaches being popped instead of drones. He should not have lost that, and behind this he's got I think that's only his 1st Immortal coming out. He's not in a great position, I don't think, to deal with this attack, and this is an attack. He's very committed to roaches here.
Yes, I should also point out that Jig does not have much vision of anything. He does not know what tech path that
He knows for the
desRow
3rd, though, and you don't need to know much more than that, because he knows that there's a Stargate and a 3rd. And when there's a Stargate and a 3rd, there's no way that you could have committed to another tech.
That's true.
There's just
Photon
not enough
Overcharge has gone down. That's going to help a bit. Immortals out now, though, and a bunch of sentries as well. It almost seems like the play, and even a Void Ray, actually. So this is like the perfect counter against roaches. It's just desRow playing. Interestingly enough, both players, not with a ton of info, but good info, like you say, seeing that you have the 3rd and seeing that you have that Stargate is going to set you up in good shape. But that being said, desRow's going to hold at the top of the ramp, but that being said, Jig does have Burrow, and he is going to move up the ramp right now. And
I like this Burrow. This is great.
there's no detection. Well,
Oh my.
oh, they do get right on in there, snipe the 1 Immortal,
I
reburrow.
can't see it right now. It's happening.
It's reburrowed the
later.
Immortals. I'll tell you. taking care of the other Immortal. A couple of force fields holding up a couple of the roaches, but they don't care. They're going to go straight for
Great
that
play.
third and start wrecking absolutely everything.
See, look, now the Cyber... I think he did pick that off, but now he's going to go right over to the third. This is, of course, already happened, but going to commentate it anyways. Goes to the third, picks up that pylon. That's going to delay the production capabilities of desRow without those gateways, and he needs everything he can get right now.
He does. He has that Void Ray in his midst. I'm not sure why he doesn't just leave that over top of the roaches. They can just continue to work away on them. Good force fields, but Jig with even more roaches going to burrow, push on underneath those force fields, saying, screw you, I'm going to go and push for the win. More Void Rays out. desRow definitely trying to do everything he can. He does have a lot of force fields available in those sentries, but he is going to lose that cybernetics core in just a moment. Indeed, it does go down. And again, another burrow and going underneath the force fields that have been placed and re-unburrowing all of these roaches, and they're just going to slaughter all these ground forces. Photon overcharge going down on that Nexus. Oh my goodness.
Look at the supply. It's out of control. I mean, 170 to 80 is what I see right now. It's probably even worse, what you're looking at.
Oh no, it's 170 to 72. Actually, desRow holding. Now he pulls the workers off. It's just going to plummet now.
These Void Rays might eventually clean up these roaches, but that doesn't matter at this point, I don't think.
No.
I mean, he's lost so many probes, there's so many more units incoming. Even if he manages to clean up every single one of these roaches on one base, you know, what are you going to do?
And a big GG, of course. And Jig is victorious, taking that game number 3 that he needed. And indeed, he must be feeling quite pleased about that. He will advance in the winner's bracket, though.
Yeah, it's a great game right there.
Now, desRow's not out of it, though, is he?
No, he's going to go over to the loser's bracket, so he's still got a chance to fight back. And I could totally see him making it into the winner's match, or into the winner's grand final there. He's got the skills. I'm really impressed with at least game 2 there. So I'm excited to see what he does later on in the tournament.
So am I, actually. Guys and girls, don't go anywhere. We're going to run a commercial break, and we'll be back with more StarCraft 2 action. WCG Canada Finals. Don't go anywhere.